Welcome back to our channel, everyone. I'm Meg,
And I'm Sean.
and together we are Mr. and Mrs. Gordon. So today we are going to be looking at relationship expectation versus reality. Stay tuned. Alright guys, so I'm going to be looking at the definition of expectation and reality, and then Sean will be taking us through the summary, right?
Okay.
Alright, so expectation is a strong belief that something will happen or be the case, while reality is the state of things as they exist, as they actually exist, as opposed to an idealistic or notional idea of them.
Okay guys, so sometimes we enter a relationship, we have our expectation. We expect how we would feel when we get into it. Some of our expectation is that our happiness level will be constant or increase throughout the relationship. But then after getting into it, we realize that the reality is different. The reality is that our happiness level goes up and down based on our situation. So one thing I want to advise is that we should be careful of our expectation. We must check our expectation and see if it's realistic or if it's. Ask ourselves the question, should we expect what we're expecting, and why we should expect what we're expecting? Because we understand that expectation controls our feelings. And I can give an example. There was a time I was working in Kingston and I was expecting a certain amount of pay. When I got my pay, it wasn't what I was expecting. But somebody else that I was working with, a friend of mine, he got less than I did. And he was so grateful for what he got. And I looked into myself and said that if I get more than he did and I am behaving ungrateful, that speaks bad about me. It speaks like I'm not appreciative. So we realize that our expectation can control how we
Appreciate what we have.
appreciate the good things that we have. So guys, don't let your expectation prevent you from appreciating the good things that you have, because sometimes we have some good things, but because we expected more and we did not receive what we expected, we did not appreciate the good thing that we have. We take it for granted. So in our relationship, we know we have some good things, but because we expected more, we behave ungrateful. Sometimes the good thing even leave us because of how ungrateful we are. Yeah.
Alright. So I think Sean basically, we could have stopped the video right here, so because Sean basically took us through, appreciating what we have and not what the expectation. Do not focus so much on the expectations that you went into your relationship with. By the way, I believe that sometimes it is best that we just leave the expectations. Like some expectations that we go into relationships with are so ridiculous, right? Some of the things that we even use to measure the type of partner that we want, some of us want, we're specific about the height of the person. We want a tall man, we want a short woman, we want one with big bottom. They have to be very educated, they must drive car, they must have house. We have to be careful with the expectations that we have when you're seeking someone to have a relationship with, or when you're in your relationship. And one of the things that I find is that for most persons, we when you're living a home with your mother and your father married, or clear family where both parents are together or they're married, right? Then you go into the relationship expecting that the good qualities or the way your mother treat your father or the way your father treated your mother is how your partner is going to treat you, or how you are supposed to treat your partner. And that is one of the big issues that we do have in our relationships. Do not go into a relationship expecting it to be as your parents, right? Because you are different from your mother, your husband is different from your father never grew him, right? And even though your parents grow you, there are some things that are personal to you, some characteristics, some personalities that only you have. So you cannot go into a relationship expecting to be treated. Yes, you may say, all right, I know how a man is supposed to treat a woman, right? But at the end of the day, you expecting it to be as your father and your mother's, it can't happen. It is unrealistic. It is never going to be the same thing. So if your husband will not bring your handbag, for example, but he will rub your shoulders and all of those stuff, appreciate what he has to offer. You don't have to get the full package. We never get the full package. So appreciate what you have and work on it. If you want to build something better on your relationship, then you work on it. But do not allow your expectation to ruin what you have. You want to add something to that?
Yeah, and sometimes we realize that most expectations arrive from watching those romantic movies or
Yes.
some celebrity, the YouTube, social media persons.
Right.
So sometimes we say to ourselves that we want a relationship like those. But what you have to understand is that those persons sometimes on the social media, they're comparing your worst moments with their best moments.
Yeah.
And that does work. So you realize that you're disappointed, and as I said, you become ungrateful. And when we talk about appreciating it, we're not talking about you being in a toxic relationship.
Right.
We're not telling you to find the good in it. I'm talking about a good relationship, an okay relationship.
Right.
You must can
Appreciate
appreciate
something
it.
about.
Yeah. Don't compare your relationship. It's best not to. But if you're going to just look on the fact that they are worse than you, compare it with the worst. And I think it will help you to appreciate your
And to feel better
relationship.
about it. Yeah. So we're not saying you should settle with mediocre or settle with just about anything, right? But still find the good in your relationship to appreciate. By appreciating, it is so important. I don't know how many of us, especially women, really look at the difference it makes when you appreciate the little things that your husband may do. So say for example today, your husband walks in and he walks in with a little rose, maybe the fake one, but he walked in with it and you are so appreciative. Next week, it's a bundle of rose you get, the real one too, because of the appreciation that you showed for the little things, right? So you have to appreciate and make your reality, make something good of your reality. So in going into a relationship, I have five points that I realize that some of us we go into relationship one expecting your spouse to treat you as your father treated your mother, or your mother treated your father, right? Vice versa. And I spoke about that already. We go into relationships expecting that all the time and attention will be focused on us, right? Not bearing in mind that work come, extra activities come. Sometimes, especially with Sean's work, the shift changes every week, right? Sometimes night shift and all of that. You have to go in relationship thinking about what type of work does this person do, how will it be, you know, you're going the relationship with the reality of what is happening, because they're not gonna just go in there and find out say, oh, the man work on night shift. You have to know it from your dating. So you can't go into the relationship and then believe say because they're not married they're gonna stop work night shift. That don't make no sense, right? So you have to make the best of your reality. You will need attention, you will need time, but you cannot expect that every single moment of the day, you know, your partner will be talking to you or will be all over you and those sort of things, right? Some things like expecting breakfast in bed and so on. I believe that sometimes men tend to not be so appreciative if they're not getting breakfast in bed and or be treated as kings. Well, not saying if you treat your man good, right? But sometimes I believe some men believe that the wife must get up every morning and make breakfast. The wife must get up every evening and make dinner or lunch and so on. The reality is that we are, you know, it punching a some man's head based on what they grew up and saw, based on what was instilled in them because of their household. So their mother did not work, and now their partner is working. You can't get up every morning and expect that the wife is going to get up every single.
Mother work, just work from home.
Yes, work from home, which is better, which would make it's easy for her to get up and make breakfast and take it in bed.
Find it offensive, I say. Them no work.
Don't work outside after household. So anyhow, as I was saying, the mother worked from home, right? And the father worked out. So they saw all of that happening, and you know, the wife had time to get up and make breakfast every morning and take it to bed, take it in bed for the husband. The reality is that things are changing now, and you find that both persons within the household are now working. So it may not necessarily be that every morning you're going to get up to breakfast in bed, right? I believe, you know, sometimes you have to just compromise on it, but do not. Some men do not go into the relationship expecting that, you know, your wife going to get up every morning and make breakfast. Well, kudos to those wives, you know. But I mean, it can happen, but at the same time, you know, if it does not happen, then you can't be so stern on every morning breakfast reaching a bed, right? Expecting intimacy every day. No, no, but for real, I think that is one of, you know, some people, especially when we're Christians, you know, and you're going into marriage and you say, all right, you know, you're free, you know, you know, it can't happen. It can't happen. I mean, you can love upon your husband, love upon your wife, but not every single day you're going to have intimacy happening, you know, because of every single thing else that is happening. And I know it is sort of hard for men to digest, but that is the reality. Yeah. And the next one, no, expecting peace and happiness every day. That is what Sean said. No, me can't talk about that because I'm in an entire mood, right? But I believe, I mean, you need somebody have to be in the relationship to say, to cry peace. But at the end of the day, you will have disagreements. You know, some people, as once a disagreement happens, you're ready for lift, pack up bag, go to mother yard, go make everybody know say you're your man in a problem. Stay at your yard. Stay at your yard. Right? The reality is, you are going to have disagreements. Sometimes you're going to feel like you want to kill him too. Or kill her. No, but it is the truth. It is the truth. But at the end of the day, you have disagreements. Disagreements does not mean that you are going to break up. Disagreement does not mean that everybody outside of your house should know that you're having a disagreement. Yeah? Stay at your yard. Work it out. Vex if you have to vex. Then you go pray about it and talk it out. Yeah? Anything else you want to add? Add something, man. Add something.
How is anything else?
Add something. Alright guys, so we hope that you find this video helpful. Remember, we're not saying you should accept me mediocre. We're not saying you should settle for nothing at all, right? But you have to know that some expectations are, they don't make no sense. That is the truth. Me can't hide and say in a real. It just don't make no sense. No sense whatsoever. So go into a relationship with minimal expectations. I think that would work best. And if you're going there with the one bag of expectation and then you mark off everything when you're not having a relationship. When there with minimal expectation and then by how the person treat you, you start add on. You know, tick it off. Add it on and tick it off and say yes, this is some of the qualities that my partner have. Right?
Because one of the good things is when the reality is more than the expectation.
Mm-hmm.
That is one of the best thing you can find. Because I know some people might have expectation of you, and the reality is you're more than what they expected.
Yep.
And yeah, it's a good thing.
Like me and more than what they expect. What?
And vice versa. Alright
guys, so we really hope that this video helps. Please don't bungle up your expectation and walk with it on your back. Yeah, just tick them off as they go along, write them on as they go along, and have a good relationship. Make the best of your relationship. Yeah, thank you for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe, turn on your post notification bell so you'll be notified when we upload another video. Thank you for watching. Bye.